Something that could never, ever possibly destroy us. Mr. Stay Puft.
You chose poorly.
Send you here for life. That's exactly what they did.
Do not grieve.
What's in the box?
Go ahead. Make my day.
Not the beast!
You have chosen wisely.
We have discussed Die Hard before,
Yes.
and it devolved into a conversation of us trying to essentially turn the movie to what would have been. Do you remember that really weird Bruce Willis skyscraper movie about him looking for shoes?
Yes.
And we realized at that time there is a thin line on how many shoes he could have tried on before it's the weird shoe movie. But that made you think that we should actually talk about Die Hard
Yes.
specifically as a movie as a whole.
Because there's an alternate reality where a movie like that was made where
It went
there
way heavy.
and Bruce Willis he just loses it. And he just starts killing people for their shoes. And what's his name? Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Hans actually becomes the good guy because he's afraid that he's like, Holly, I got
This has gone too far.
Holly, you got to take your husband out because there's something wrong with the man. He's killing all my guys for their shoes.
So, before we get too far, because we have some legitimate stuff, but I did look up Bruce Willis's shoe size.
Yeah.
Now, if all internet sources are correct, he wears a US 10.
Okay.
So now that could have been a 9.5 earlier in life, maybe, because I had a 9.5 at one point. But as you get older, if you have like a high arch, that flattens out sometimes, and your foot gets bigger technically.
Okay.
So maybe at the time of shooting, he could have been a 9, he could have been a 9.5. But if he's a 10 now, whatever. So I looked at the average German shoe size, which is 40, in non-freedom units.
Yes.
Which is the same as it was 40 years ago.
Okay.
So even back in 88, when this was shot, same shoe size. That translates to a 7.5 in U.S. shoe size.
Okay.
So, if you're looking at the average German terrorist in this case,
Yes.
pretty possible they're not going to have a size 10 shoe for him to steal. So, the first guy that he kills, not having small feet, fits based on. I didn't do a ton of work. This was like 3.5, 4 minutes that I spent on this, just as a caveat.
Yeah.
But so I tried to look up the first guy killed, who was played by, I'm not going to get the name correct probably, but Andreas Wilsoniski.
Yeah.
There is nowhere that I could find his shoe size.
Okay.
I could find all kinds of stuff on Wikipedia and stuff. I didn't get as far as looking for a Twitter to see if he's ever been asked about his shoe size. Because I'm not the first person who's gone down this route just out of curiosity.
Sure.
Not to say that doesn't, if they say that he wears small shoes in the movie, then he wears shoes. Yeah, but as a side note, Snape, Alan Rickman, he wears a US 11.
Okay.
So, if at any point Bruce Willis would have killed him, he would have had workable shoes. Kind of would have killed a lot of the movie, but...
What I don't understand is, what was the whole, because I watched a documentary about it, and they didn't discuss it. What was the obsession with the Mason? I mean, the whole movie's about, not having shoes.
Right.
But...
No, in my mind, as I'm watching it, because of having discussed that, it would go in and out from the shoe movie to me.
I don't even know why you put it in there, because it really, I mean... I
don't have the barefoot part?
I guess...
I mean, it didn't come into play except for that one scene, and I think someone had the idea. Apparently, that scene used to have a lot more sound effect that went with it, and was a little bit longer or more gruesome or something to make you really feel it. But then they kind of toned it down.
Okay.
So where you just see the blood trail going into the bathroom where he yanks it out.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he basically takes out. The thing I saw said the first terrorist name that he took out was Terry. But I don't know if that's the right name. But
Terry,
either way,
Tony.
Tony,
Marco.
maybe. Yeah, there's there's Carl, there's either way. So he takes that guy out, the shoe's too small so he can't wear it, so he continues to be barefoot. Now some of the stuff he does barefoot, like running on metal grating and stuff, is horrifying. That's how you lose a toenail.
Sure.
I
So it would have been weirder if he took off their socks and wore their socks around, because that's what I would have done. Like if
No, that's like when you drive. You can drive barefoot, but you can't drive in sock feet.
Yeah,
because like the socks,
yeah,
they don't stick to you the same.
That's true.
Like barefoot, like in order of safety, I would assume shoes. Barefooted, sock feet is way down there.
See, I don't know because I'm not
You're
going to be running.
Slide on any kind of tile.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like you're going to go to run and it's going to go Scooby Doo on you, and then you're going to get shot.
Yeah, that's true. I guess. I don't know.
So one of the things that I question at the beginning of this movie, is when he kills the first terrorist, and he dresses him up and puts the ho 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 and lets him know that he has a machine gun.
Yeah.
At that point, they really had no idea what was going on with him, and he gave away any element of surprise.
He did, yeah.
That they were suspicious because he pulled the fire alarm.
Yeah.
Because that's how they even knew that something was going on. Mm-hmm. But he could have taken that dude out, took him somewhere, like at least hit him a little bit. Yeah. They would have eventually looked for him, but be like, "Oh, someone killed." Like any advantage he could have potentially had, just out the window. Like first thing he does.
Agreed. Yeah.
And like he kind of knew how bad the situation was. I thought that was very weird this time watching it. Agreed. Like it never occurred to me like how bad of that seems like a bad play, because like you have the walkie-talkie, you could have been listening in on them. Like
it's true. Yeah,
it was like
I never really thought of it like that, but yeah, why would you do that?
Yeah, I was just sitting there. I was like, why would you even do that in this particular one? So that just stuck with me. It just felt really strange, and I was like, I mean, he's kind of cocky though. At that point,
sure,
but he's also terrified. So I get he's trying to like go Batman on him or Jason Voorhees, where you try to scare him a little bit. But
like you said, they really didn't know anything about him though.
Yeah, but now they know that he killed one of their guys, and you've created like a bloodlust in his brother, which you probably had no idea.
Said, and he's missing his shoes. What in the world?
Well, yeah, I always thought in the movie that they noticed that he had taken, like, for some reason, I remembered it as him taking off the shoes of a couple people.
Yeah.
But it was only the one guy. And then it was when Hans is pretending to be American is when he sees
him
without the shoes.
Right after
I could have swore, like, the last time I watched the full thing, I had the order reversed.
Okay.
Like, I knew that Hans pretended to be the guy.
Yeah.
And then there's the glass shootout scene. But I thought there was, like, some other stuff in between.
Yeah.
And they realized that he didn't have the shoes.
Well, yeah, because, he kills the one guy, takes off the shoes, and it's too small. And then there's another scene with the guy with the detonators.
Yeah.
There's a guy right there he kills, and there's a guy that jumps on the table and starts shooting the table for whatever reason, which I thought was kind of stupid. But
well, that's where Bruce Willis went deaf, too, when he shot through the thing.
Oh, really?
So I pulled up a thing that has facts. So it's, let me see here. Yeah, due to an accident on the first day of Die Hard, he suffered 2/3 partial hearing loss in his left ear. And that was... I believe when they were doing that scene, they used extra loud blanks for some reason.
Okay.
And the way he shot that gun, like, he was laying there with the gun, like, kind of right at his face. I guess it was so loud that he lost some hearing from that.
Really?
This is based on, like, a couple of the different, like, 25 or 30 facts things.
Okay.
But this book, the one I'm on right now is on bestlifeonline.com.
Yeah.
And it seemed to have the information that all the others did. And it had the least pop-ups. So... I went with that one.
Sure.
To look
you want to keep talking about the...
So let's see. There also, did you know that the Fox building is what the building they actually were at was?
Yeah.
And I did not know that there were people trying to do like office jobs while they were doing this movie.
The documentary I watched, they said that there was, I guess, 2 lawyers that lived upstairs.
Yeah.
That was complaining about the gunfire. So I guess they asked them to restrict the gunfire because they were trying to sleep.
Yeah, like stop doing it at 3 in the morning.
Well, yeah, I guess because I guess they all agreed on like 5 o'clock because that's when the lawyers left for work or whatever. And the director, whoever it was, said that once it got, he's like, we watched the clock. When it got to 5 o'clock, it sounded like World War III. We just started doing gunfire and everything. Yeah.
I'm going to skip some of these because they're not very interesting.
Yeah.
But Hans's face, I knew this from a long time ago somehow. For when he falls at the spoiler, when he falls at the end, he looks pretty terrified.
Yeah.
Because he was.
Yes.
Like they told her they were going to drop on like the count of 2.
Yeah.
Or on like 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah.
But they actually went on 2 to legitimately terrify him that something had gone wrong.
Yes.
That seems
kind of. Well, even he said in an interview that they made sure that was the last scene they filmed because if he did get hurt, I was like, what?
Well, I mean, this was like his first. Like he was a nobody.
Yeah, sure.
And that was the other because. We were talking about this before we started, right? Where when we were talking about it becoming the shoe movie, like Bruce Willis at this time had no association as really an action star.
Yeah.
So
the only thing he did was moonlighting.
Yeah, which is more comedic. And then this guy isn't it. So for it to go from action movie to the weird Bruce Willis skyscraper shoe movie,
yes,
with him not having that like pedigree of an action star,
yeah.
There's no way you like. It makes more sense that was a one thing to set up later in the movie, and not turn because it would have been the shoe movie.
Well,
like, absolutely,
yes. Well, I mean, and how good of a find was it to find Alan Rickman as Hans? Because he nails Hans Gruber pretty good in this movie.
Yeah, well, and it seems like he didn't even care. Like it wasn't like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
He just kind of did it.
Sure.
From the stuff I read.
Yeah.
You said this. I think this was in the documentary you were talking about, where Frank Sinatra was actually going to have the role.
Well, because so apparently it was a sequel to a movie that Frank Sinatra did, I guess.
Okay.
And Frank Sinatra wanted a sequel to a movie, to that movie or whatever.
The detective.
The detective, yeah. And legally, I guess whoever produced Die Hard they legally had to ask Frank Sinatra, but Frank Sinatra was too old,
right?
and he turned it down. Yeah.
Well, 73. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, they went through a lot of glass. Let's see. All told, so this is 1988 money too. They spent $130,000 on glass.
Nice.
That is insane. Yeah. This is what we were talking. Fox charged itself to use the Nakatomi Plaza building. This is basically talking about that whole thing where they charged themselves a rental fee, but basically irritated everybody in that building.
Yes.
Let's see here. There are a few other things. Wait, here we go. Yeah, this was. There's a lot of different inspirations and things like that. Bruce Willis was given $5 million for the role.
They said in that documentary I watched that he was at that time the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Really?
Because of that movie, yeah.
That's crazy that he got offered $5 million though.
Yeah. His agent.
It seems like everybody else who they offered it to, because like Harrison Ford, like you had some legitimate action stars.
Yeah, they said his agent did something, and Bruce was like, "Cool."
I wonder. Yeah, I'd be real interested on that. Now, I would have liked to see this movie with Harrison Ford, but I think Bruce Willis did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
I really like Harrison Ford, though.
It would be different. It would, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. What else do we got? Alan Rickman didn't think of Hans as a villain.
Which, there might be some argument to that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he seemed to bring up terrible things they had done.
Other than...
It was more like a Robin Hood style character, maybe.
Other than shooting people twice in the head. I mean, if you take that and those things out, I mean...
What did he do that was villainous about that, though? Honestly, he said, give us the code. I'm going to count to 3. There won't be a 4.
Yeah.
He did not lie.
Yeah.
I bet that guy had that code.
Well, so, what's his... the first guy he killed, Mr... Nakatomi guy.
Yes.
So that guy, you felt bad for him dying. The coat guy.
Oh, that dude.
That guy was annoying.
That guy makes me mad every time I do see that movie.
Yes.
Because he's such an idiot and a weasel.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't feel bad.
Yes.
Like at all. Not one moment. Let's see. Yeah, terrorists aren't speaking German. That fairly, yeah. Home video, I think they dubbed it or something like that with real German. But they're just making noises. Like, just made up a language.
Yeah.
They had something where it looks like originally they were going to wear normal. They said normal. I like this. The original script had called for Hans Gruber to wear terrorist attire.
Yes.
I did not know that for Germans there was a set
terrorist attire. Yeah.
Because there is in my mind, it does generate a picture of terrorist attire nowadays.
Sure.
And I do not know what that would have been in '88 for a German terrorist, though. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't either, yes.
But, yeah, so he goes over, like, where he came up with the look, and they decided that was a lot better. But it was based on him pretending to be American at some point.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Like, that whole thing. And, let's see. Yeah, that's not very interesting. It wasn't going to be played by Rick. Yeah, this is going where he almost turned the role.
Mm-hmm.
What was it he says here? I didn't know anything about L.A. I didn't know anything about the film business. Never made a film. But I was extremely cheap. And then he said, what the hell is this? I'm not doing an action movie. Followed by launching his career, basically.
Yes.
Is what it seems like. Yeah, there's some weird... Yeah, Clint Eastwood would have been interesting. Like, I guess he had the part.
Yeah.
I still think Batman Beyond, old man Bruce Wayne, Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
And then you get Joseph Gordon-Levitt to be Terry.
It's almost like they almost kind of set that up there and then dropped the ball at the very end. Yeah,
it's almost like DC and Warner Brothers just don't know what to do with live-action movies.
Yeah, but that's another rant.
Yeah, so other actors for Die Hard: Eastwood, Sinatra, Richard Gere, Robert De Niro, Mel Gibson, Harrison Ford, Burt Reynolds, and MacGyver.
Richard Gere.
I would have loved Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, that would have been awesome.
But again, anytime I think of Burt Reynolds,
Smokey the Bandit, is that what you're thinking?
No, I think of what's his name, Norm Macdonald's portrayal of Burt Reynolds on Saturday Night Live. When
that
I think
that
Burt
character
Reynolds,
in Die Hard.
I want that version of Burt Reynolds in a movie. I think that would be the best thing ever.
Yes.
Yeah, this is where I pulled this from. We were talking about it. The glass in the feet scene was originally harsher, and it basically says like where he pulls the shards out, like in the bathroom or whatever. It had gruesome sound effects to really make the viewer feel like they were there.
Yes.
And then the producers wanted it removed. So I can only imagine because it's already like the one shard he pulls out is huge. It's like that would suck. Like that whole scene makes me hurt.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, they altered course to make it a date movie, supposedly, where we'll go over this one.
Yeah.
So director, he had to be convinced that Die Hard was a movie worth making. He told Empire magazine that the original version of the screenplay was a grim terrorist movie.
Yeah.
And he explained, on my second week working on it, I said, guys, there's no part of terrorism that's fun.
Yes.
Robbers are fun, bad guys. Let's make this a date movie, and they changed them more to the robber style, I guess.
Yeah, he was totally against the whole terrorist idea.
Yeah, well, this definitely worked out better because they had a reason, kind of, as opposed to just terror. So,
I did think it was funny that they didn't know how it was going to end, and when at the very beginning of the movie, you see them all coming out of that van.
Yeah.
There's no ambulance in the van. And the director said at the very end of we're screening it, and we're like, crap, there's no ambulance.
Too late.
And they said, well, what should we do? He's like, I don't care. He's like, if people are going to nitpick over it, he's like, get a life.
Be like, of all the things to complain about.
He's like, maybe they drove around the building and found the ambulance or something.
I like the thought of that. Did you ever see, I don't know when it came out, there was I think it was a Bill Murray movie?
Okay.
I could have swore Bill Murray was in it. But there were these robbers who dressed everybody up as clowns, kind of thing.
Okay.
And that's how the robbers actually got out, is they disguised themselves as the hostages. So with this, where they're going to disguise themselves as people in an ambulance or something, or like it was similar.
The only thing I can think of is Batman, because the Joker did that.
Yes. Well, yeah, he did that too, but there was like I swear it was like a heist Bill Murray movie or something.
Okay, yeah, it could be.
I have to look into it. Let's see here. Bruce Willis.
You say a heist? I can't see Bill Murray in a heist movie.
All right.
We're going to stop.
Yeah,
we're going to stop and
on.
do some research here.
All right, and we're back.
Who knew Bill Murray was in a heist movie? I never.
So, the name of the movie is Quick Change from
Yep.
1990, and there's a good chance that's going to be the next movie we talk about. At
because
this point.
I've
only seen a little bit of
I
it.
don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty interesting. So we'll probably be doing that.
Okay.
But back to Die Hard.
Yeah.
So I exhausted the facts page, like things that actually seem interesting.
Yeah.
Other than if you look at the promotional material,
Okay.
someone said that the building had more overall advertising than
Yeah.
than what's his face.
They talked about it in the documentary, I guess, because
He wasn't that known.
well, they did a test screening for people, and people were laughing at the trailer
Yeah.
because it was Bruce Willis from Moonlighting, I guess, and they're
Yeah.
like, and I guess all the studio execs are like, "Oh crap!"
What have we done?
So they gave the building top bill on the movie posters.
Well, the thing is, like, when he does, like, some of the funny lines,
Yeah.
they're legitimately funny.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Like, he's not a bad actor in any way, I don't think. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, the FBI guys. Oh, big shout out to Carl Winslow as the cop. Like, that's one of my favorite characters in that movie.
Yeah.
The fact that he was Carl Winslow in this
So-
movie basically as well. Like,
Yeah, but
dead on.
Powell is the only smart cop, I guess, because everybody else, the SWAT team, the FBI is definitely bad.
I hate when you get the infuriating, like, people that just are stupid,
Yes,
which unfortunately is how real life works.
yes.
But I just hate it in the movie because it's like, oh, these guys, this could go so much better.
Well, the police chief was cracking me up because maybe it's because we were actually like examining it.
Right.
He had some great lines. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, better get some more FBI guys.
Yeah, like, that's the most cold, like... I mean, those guys, like, the one dude was a terrible person.
Sure.
But it's funny to be like, after what he just saw, like, that entire building top blows.
Yeah.
No idea if the hostages made it safely away. And his first thing is like, better get some new FBI guys.
And then when Hans falls out off the building, he's like, "I hope that's not a hostage."
Yes, there is some. He could use some sensitivity training for sure.
Yeah, but
That guy would not make it in today's society.
no, he would not. He probably would have fired a long time ago. HR reports everywhere.
Well, and then I liked at the end. I thought it was funny because like Powell. It's hard for me not to call him Carl. Like he was Carl Winslow for an awful lot of my life watching that
I
show.
understand.
So he guns the guy down and like kind of fills his story why he was the desk job. But then you have Argyle show up with the limo where he breaks through the gate after everything that's happened, and no one is immediately opening fire on that.
Yes.
Like that is crazy.
Yeah.
But like that character he wasn't in it very much, but he was such a likable character.
He was, yeah.
But it's interesting where I'll watch like TV shows where you're supposed to have a likable character,
Now,
and they've had more screen time than that guy did.
Now, the guy he punches in the ambulance, Argyle, that punches the ambulance driver.
Yeah.
I always thought that bad guy, I've always thought that was Geordi from Star Trek Next Generation. For years.
No.
For years, I thought it was. And I told my dad that. My dad's like, what? And he's like, that's not Geordi from Star Trek.
And that's not the Reading Rainbow guy either.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. They look, yeah. But apparently, that scene where he punches the guy in the ambulance, he actually punched him in real life because the director told him like your punches look terrible. And the guy in the Amos, I guess, was also he said, "Yeah, man, you gotta make it look real." So I just got tired of them telling me. He said, "I want to just punch them."
The thing is,
he's
that
like,
punch,
he's like, when I was actually shaking my hand, that was because it hurt.
So to tie this to the wrestling part,
Yes,
that punch still looked bad.
Yes.
Like when I saw that, I was like, "That is like the worst punch I've seen thrown."
Yeah.
Short of the Dark Order punching the mat by some dude's head.
Apparently, he threw a punch. So apparently, the guy can't punch.
I mean, that's good. That means he's not had to punch people in his life. So
yes.
I would prefer that as to, he's had a rough life and had to punch people constantly. I mean, real punches can look bad. Look at Shane McMahon. Just to tie that back to there. So
yeah. So overall,
I
Die Hard.
I liked it. I was worried that I'd be so focused on feet that it would ruin it.
Yes.
Occasionally there was, but it didn't kill it for me.
The only thing I thought they could do without was the Coke guy. The Coke guy was, I don't know his name.
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about though. And
The
that's
only
what
thing, because I mean,
no, he was just like he was there to because I thought he was gonna like. I remember the first time I was like, oh, he's gonna tell him that he's he's the wife or something like that, and he doesn't go that route with it.
Yeah,
but it was so like, good. That guy is an idiot.
yes.
Like,
Well, yeah, because I mean, I guess Holly was. I don't know why Holly wouldn't have actually cheated on Bruce Willis with that guy, because that's what he insinuated, that they had a night of passion or whatever. Which I don't know what Holly was thinking, but so he was just a despicable character.
Well, yeah, I mean he was an idiot. Like it just really felt like he was an idiot that just had a huge ego.
The only payoff was this Hans interaction was like, why are you in here? Why are you talking to me?
Oh, and you figured it out like all on your own or something like that. Be like, we literally told you what we were doing at one point.
Yes.
But okay, good job.
He's like, well, this doesn't work. Just pretend you're going to kill me. And Hans is probably like, yeah,
okay.
I will.
Because one way or the other, you need to die. Yes. Like I'm sure he had thought that.
So overall, yeah, I enjoyed it. Always have.
Yeah, like I don't go out of my way to watch it, but I will occasionally. So, good times.
Yeah.
Like, it's not one of those watch it. Die Hard 2, I bet, would be the same. After Die Hard 2, it gets a little bit harder for me to enjoy them the same way.
Well, yeah, it's just because I think The Office talked about this. What made Die Hard 1 so good, and Die Hard 2, too, I guess. But Die Hard 2, you start seeing this characteristic. John is no longer an average day dude.
Yeah, he's a
He
superhero.
becomes like a super cyborg guy.
Well, yeah, in this one, he's like exhausted. He's beat up. He's essentially selling his struggles.
Yes. So I think that's why, as the series goes on, it is Superman. So,
all right. Do we want
Mandalorian time.
Do we want to do it or do we want to save it?
I don't care.
Because next week's the season finale.
Oh yeah,
so we'll just do it that. We're pretty long. But again, so if you've listened to this, then this does you no good. So I don't know why we would say it again at the end. But we are going to probably start putting them up on YouTube where we separate the topics one to the next. Mm-hmm. And there you go. But
so you guys are listening to this. Wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you for watching so long. And remember, log into your friends' YouTubes and Apple Podcasts, 5-star reviews, subscribe. Only until we get 100 and we get the custom URL. That's right. And then we don't care. You can unsubscribe and not be bothered by us. We just need that. So,
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Goose knows. Outro. It's like Siri.